Welcome back. Let's go back to our top story now. Deputy President David Mabuza has not given the keynote address at the ANC Youth League's 74th birthday rally in Mpumalanga. That's due to ANC factional battles in Mpumalanga. Youth League President Collen Maine was also not present. eNCA's Samkele Maseko is at Maine's house in Pretoria, and we cross to him live now. Over to you, Samkele.
Well, indeed, the Youth League's president, Collen Maine, was absent at the League's 74th anniversary in Middelburg at the Steve Tshwete local municipality earlier on today. What many in the Youth League has perceived as a factional event of those who are supporting Mabala Noise owner and CEO Reggie Nkabinde, and you only had the likes of the Deputy President of the ANC Youth League, Desmond Mwele, who was there, and the ANC Youth League SG, Njabulo Nzuza, was also not present. But the most topical and known figures of the ANC Youth League, its political head, Collen Maine, was also absent at that event, along with D.D. Mabuza, the Deputy President of the ANC and of the country, who boycotted the event as well. But we are now live from Collen Maine's house, formerly known as many have reported, as the Gupta compound. He himself calls it that compound. Just to start off on that note, on a lighter note, why do you call your house the Gupta compound?
No, it's not me who's calling it that. It's you guys in the media who are calling it like that. So I have no qualms with what you call my residence. Yeah.
On this note, you were absent at the ANC Youth League's event today in Mpumalanga. The reason given was that you had other key appointments and key engagements that you had to attend to, but seemingly we find you here relaxed in the comfort of your home. Why were you absent?
No, firstly, if you have appointments, you can have appointments and people come to your home. It doesn't suggest that you must go outside of your home, okay? But the reality of the situation is that I was not feeling well. I then requested the Deputy President, as stipulated in our Constitution, that in the absence of the President, the Deputy President will then assume the responsibility of the President, and that's what Comrade Desmond Mwela did very well today.
On the issue of the Sunday Times article saying that you were appointed by the ANC's then Premier League, or reported Premier League, or which comprised of D.D. Mabuza, Supra Muhammad Bilo, and Ace Makashule of the Free State, is there any substance to this report that was compiled by Sibonga Wonga Shoba? We had that interview here at your home with you.
Well, I am very disappointed. I did write Shoba an SMS this morning after hearing about the story before I could read the newspapers. I think it's grave misrepresentation of facts and of what I said. We have always denied the existence of that league in the ANC, and as a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, I can't agree and want to characterize the African National Congress into factions. So that's not what I said. What I said is that there was a belief then that there was a hand of the so-called Premier League in the election of the NSC that I'm leading, and which we're still refuting until today, that there's an existence of such a league. And what we have said, what I also said, is that when the president of the ANC, President Ramaphosa, visited our NSC, we said that this time around we don't want to hear about the involvement of people, be it the alleged Premier League or whatever, elders, in the affairs of the Youth League as we are preparing ourselves for our 26th National Congress.
What do you mean when you say there was a hand of certain provincial chairpersons?
No,
of the ANC?
there was an allegation. I'm not saying there was a hand. We don't want to hear any of that. That's what I'm saying. There should be no allegation of any elder involved in the Congress of the ANC Youth League.
When you look at the ANC Youth League today, what do you think of this organization that you are leading? Your Deputy President today basically said the ANC Youth League is hurt. I'm going to quote him in Sizulu. Silimele comrades, asisafan, silimele. The youth gigantic movement is hurt, ilimele. What do you take when your own Deputy President basically confirms or says that the ANC Youth League is no longer what it was?
Well, I don't know what he meant. I'm sure you must ask the Deputy President, because there was one who was saying that. But I must acknowledge that, and which I always acknowledge, is like any other collective, our National Executive Committee has made strides. It has got weaknesses, and the movement, the ANC and its leagues are faced with numerous challenges.
What are those challenges?
One of the challenges that may be facing the Youth League now, there's a perception that we don't resonate well with young people, or we are not raising issues of young people. One example that was made was that during the Fees Must Fall movement, the Youth League was absent, which is actually not true. I did say to Shoba, I don't know if he wrote it in his story, that, for instance, if you remember, a leader of a political party was chased away on one of the campuses in Cape Town because that was not a ANC Youth League or a PYA program. It was a program of all political formations who came together and who said they did not want any outsider to come in, but with our comrades who were in campuses at the background, we were working with them. Secondly, we had a number of meetings, I think about 6 meetings, with the leadership of the ANC, then led by President Zuma, pushing that they must adhere to the demands of the students. And the president did announce on the 15th, I think, of December, or the 16th, that there would be free education. It did not just happen. We had to sit in a number of meetings, and we had to release press statements into that regard that we are supporting the students.
I want to move on to ANC Youth League issues now. You are going into this 26th conference. I'm not sure if this has come out in the public domain, is it? But I've heard through the grapevine that you have someone whom you would like to take over as the president of the Youth League, which would be Thando Sabelo, the current provincial secretary of KwaZulu-Natal. Meetings have been written about, particularly in the Sunday Times, of a Maharani meeting that may have took place, or allegedly took place, to oust the incumbent president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa. Do you still believe in Thando Sabelo that he can bring back a vibrant and militant ANC Youth League?
Well, it would be wrong for anybody to say that I want to anoint Thando, but like a delegate in that Congress, I've got the full voting right, and I'm going to vote for a candidate I believe would be able to help the ANC Youth League. Secondly, I have engaged Thando immediately. The story emerged from the Sunday Times. And I've worked with him in the 3 years. He's an honest comrade when he talks to me. And he has given me the side of the story. So I believe what he told me. I don't think that he would be part of any plot, if there is a plot, to oust the current president. He actually supports the president. He even indicated to me that he wants to organize a massive rally, which myself and the president must come and organize. And you know, comrades in KZN have embraced the outcome of Congress. So Thando has accepted. The Youth League had a view to going to Congress, including myself. We have accepted the outcome of Congress. Actually, myself and Sabelo and others were labeled as sellouts by comrades, other comrades who did not really want to accept the outcome, because
who are those people?
We have accepted. No, for the purpose of the interview, just say comrades. But I must confirm that we support and we can't plot. And I know that Sabelo will stand by my side to fight anybody who seeks to plot the sitting leadership of the ANC.
You sit in the ANC's NWCs and ex officio due to your cap as the president of the ANC Youth League. Will you be asking the ANC SG, Ace Magashule, to account on this meeting that he had with the former president of the ANC, Jacob Zuma, and the subsequent meeting he had with your erstwhile political ally, Supra Muhammad Bilo of the Northwest in Durban?
Well, I can't make the SG of the ANC to account. I think the SG did say to you guys that he briefed the officials, and the officials were satisfied with his explanation, and also said during his press briefing that he was advised on how to carry such meetings in the future or conduct them. So I don't think that it's important for us to allow such things to divide the organization.
We are here in a home that was bought for you or helped finance by the Gupta family. We've seen shocking revelations coming out of the State Capture Commission. The president of the country also saying he may go there if requested to go and testify. What do you have to say for yourself, knowing that those people who helped finance your house have allegedly stolen billions of rands from South Africa, and in particular, those who you say you represent, the downtrodden and the poor?
Well, I must say that it's quite unfortunate that you believe such stories, that this house was paid for by the Guptas, and the story made by the media. I am paying for this bond every month, so I don't know how the Guptas would have bought the house, but going to the state capture, I think the terms of reference of the state capture are very clear, but should I be required, like a law-abiding citizen of this country, to go and say, if at the commission, as chaired by the Deputy Chief Justice, want to ask me any question, I would go to the commission if required to go there.
In all fairness, President of the Youth League, Collen Maine, it becomes very difficult to believe you on such an issue, because on numerous platforms you've taken at the ANC Youth League headquarters at Luthuli House, you did say the Guptas are investors, they're business people in this country, and if required, you would meet them. You went to an extent in Klerksdorp to say that your erstwhile political ally, Supra Muhammapilo, whom you concluded your Youth League elective speech in 2015 saying that he gave you a book by Sun Tzu to read, then where is your relationship with the Guptas? Because you say that Supra Muhammapilo introduced you to them.
Look, as a president of the Youth League, I met a number of people. Just before you came in, there were people here who are from Italy who came to see me. So it can't be an issue. Even the Guptas then, with me meeting them as business people, I don't think there was really an issue. So, and I will continue until my term ends, meet any other person who wants to meet me. That's why even yourself, when you wanted to come and conduct an interview with me, I couldn't say no, let's go to Luthuli House. I'll call you and I'm meeting you. And other journalists who would come and meet. So as a leader, I've got the responsibility to meet with all stakeholders, with all our people who wants to meet with us.
My second last question to you, out of time, they need to go to a press briefing of Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, but would you be defending Didi Mabuza against those who want to oust him now, who feel betrayed by him for voting with Cyril Ramaphosa at the December's 54th National Conference?
You see, you can't take us back there to Nazareth. That conference has come and passed, and there's nobody in the ANC who's going to be attacked or dismissed because of his or her views during that Congress. So we are a united National Executive Committee elected by the branches of the ANC. So Didi Mabuza is a deputy president of the ANC, duly elected. Nobody can touch him.
Not a political answer, please.
No, you see, it would be quite unfortunate for me as a sitting president to want to, I'm not a person, but where I'm seated, indeed, I've got a preference. For me, the Youth League must be led by somebody who has been active in affairs of the African National Congress Youth League. Somebody who's ensured that the Youth League is alive wherever he is or she is.
That would be Tandokolo Sabel.
I can't give you a name of my preferred candidate, but I do have, and I'll vote for that candidate. But I'll conduct myself in a very matured manner as the president of the Youth League.
Well, that was Collen Maine saying that this house was not bought for him or financed or helped financed by the Gupta family, contrary to what has been reported. Also saying that if required, he will go to the State Capture Commission to testify there, and also speaking on ANC Youth League issues, saying that the report that was compiled by Sibongabonga Shoba, he did not say that he was installed as the president of the ANC Youth League by the then notorious ANC Premiers League, which featured D.D. Mabuza, who was subsequently an erstwhile political ally of that perceived Premier League of then Supra Muhammad Bilo and Ace Mahashule, who's now the ANC SG. Subsequently, his name, D.D. Mabuza, has not been spotted in any plots in provinces such as KwaZulu-Natal and Maharani, but we've seen the name of Thandokolo Sabela, who's gunning for the position of ANC Youth League president against the Mambalano's owner, Regine Kabinde, popping up in those allegations of plots that may have taken place in the provinces of KwaZulu-Natal, and the name of former ANC Youth League Deputy President Andile Lungisa also popping up there. But only time will tell if Thandokolo Sabela is involved in those plots to remove President Cyril Ramaphosa. There's also allegations of a new plot to remove the Deputy President of the ANC, D.D. Mabuza, who hails from the province of Mpumalanga, which is the second biggest province in ANC politics.